let's make a game real quick. We'll take a little bit of Vampire Survivors, Risk of Rain, and Binding of Isaac. And let's not forget about the special ingredient. Yes, cat fur. Let's look a little bit closer. Hey there, name's CatDev. I took a part-time job as a chef cooking games after my accident. I believe that just like the inspirations of a game are supposed to synergize, so do the elements of the game itself. The games I mentioned all lack something I want to add myself. Let's prepare a game. Binding of Isaac is an excellent roguelike, but how awesome would a 3D version of it be? Just think of it. In Vampire Survivors, you don't control your attacks, which maybe makes it unique. But if there were a manual aiming mode, that will only add to the game. And in Risk of Rain 2, you don't even have a cat. What a shame. Let's see what we made so far. So I made a quick comparison of what was made last episode to the new version. This desert needs to be improved, and with the snap of my finger, it's too much goddamn cat fur. The first problem I encountered is that the cat has no attacks, and an average cat attacks with its claws, which I think that could be improved. You want your game hero to have some over-the-top attacks which will destroy the whole map. If you get the right items, of course. We have already made sunglasses as a meme that the cat wears. Why not use them in another way? Let's add them to the game. And just like that, we got ourselves throwable sunglasses. Oh, what's this? Fire effect has not been assigned, but it is assigned. Wait, what? So I had to restart my computer, but now it's working. The sunglasses can be shot, and after 3 seconds they return to the player, and they are considered as a collectible. The more sunglasses you collect, the more sunglasses you will have to throw and kill mobs. And then I ended up messing around with the Unity particle system. And if you know Danny, he has a copyright on that. Well, sort of. Anyway, here are some of the items I made. I made fire, ice, and electricity effects. But first we need to cook them to add them to the game. Let's say we're taking the fire elemental. Its effect on the sunglasses is of course fire, and if I'll shoot the spider, it will burn in flames. And every second it will take some damage, until it's dead, or the fire effect is turned off. The same thing happens with the ice elemental, but now the effect makes the enemies slower for a few seconds, depending on the player's stats at the moment. You're probably wondering how you even make those effects. Well, other than crushing the ice manually, the process revolves around making a sheet of images like this, and spreading them in a grid so Unity's particle system could cut those images. And then you can mess around with the particle size to make whatever you want. And in our case, electricity particle. Electricity, like fire and ice, has its own unique characteristics. Whenever you shoot an electricity shot at an enemy, it has a chance to transfer that elemental to another close by enemy. Like fire, the electricity damages the enemy every second, although it does less damage than fire, so it will be even. And then there are combinations like ice and electricity, which for now makes the sunglasses lose its ability, but add a lot of damage. And ice and fire, which cancels each other out, and makes the shot a lot weaker. Like in every roguelike, you should be careful what item you take. And these are all our mixes for today. It is quite clear that now we have a lot of equipment, but our enemies have no means of protecting themselves. So to begin with, let's take a look at the bat. So I believe that bats are supposed to have a bite attack or something like that. But that's too basic. It would be nice if the player ran from some projectiles. As a result, I designed the best rock I can make. Yes, a rock. And it will be thrown at the player by the bat, although in the future it could be changed. I'll show you how it looks like. Oh, that's not right. It looks like something else. Yes, it definitely looks like poop. Although it's quite cool if you let the bats roam around for a bit. Maybe I can add this to the game somehow in the future. Let's experiment with some physics and see what happens. I'll add a rigid body and a collider. Oh no, that's worse. What the fuck even is this? Eventually, after a while, I made fewer rocks, but to be honest, that explosion is quite cool. Messing around with the physics can always bring new ideas to add to the game. Did I mention that only 25% of you are subscribed? You should subscribe, so I can cook more stuff to add to the game. Hey, no, Spidey, sit. Spidey, sit. In order to add an attack for the spider, I played with Unity's particle system once again. I made the spider sneeze and toss some mucus at the player. No matter where you go now, you'll find mucus. Anyway, we made a lot of progress this episode, and the more I work on it, the more potential I see in it. Maybe I missed something or there is more to add in the subject. Make sure you tell me in the comments. Especially if you have an idea for a new elemental. The fact that I'm actually enjoying playing this game is a real good sign. Looking forward to playing it with all of you when it's finished. But there's still one more thing I want to show you. Here, follow me.
Silence! The court is prepared to proceed to sentencing. The defendant acted knowingly and intentionally. The defendant is guilty of tearing the fabric of cat time, as charged in the indent.
Sorry, Your Honor. I have no idea how I got here, or where I even am.
You're in the future, little kitten. You should look at the window above you.